Good afternoon, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and of course we have another episode of Retro Cover Rewind today, and it's going to be a fun one, at least I believe so. Now, what this series highlights are the covers that drew us into the stories in these fantastic books that we read as we were growing up. And without a great cover, without a great, oh my gosh, look at that, let me see what's inside, just drawing you into the stories inside, you wouldn't have discovered your favorite writers, your favorite characters, your favorite stories. And it all started with the cover of the comic. So we're going to do Killraven this week, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Now, Killraven, or John Raven, as is his birth name, I discovered through the Marvel Essentials way back, right when this first came out. This is a black and white reprint series of the Killraven stories. Now, I love the Essentials line, and I got quite a few because I love having the stories in color and in black and white. I just love the juxtaposition against the two, and it just is a different experience reading them in color and black and white, and I enjoyed both. But we'll read you the back just to give you the quick synopsis. It says, remember the Martian invasion of 2001? No? Not to worry, some of Marvel's top talents have preserved it for you. Relive the sequel to H.G. Wells' masterpiece as a sword-wielding slave leads a band of fearless freedom fighters against Earth's alien overlords, featuring mutants, madmen, metal monsters, and more. Guest starring who else? Spider-Man. Free Earth, which was the slogan. So this was wild. This was, and I haven't read this in a while. I want to actually reread this series. It was like 100 years after the initial attack, the aliens were repelled. They came back stronger, better, and they came back and they enslaved mankind. Now, John Raven became Killraven and became the leader of the Freedom Force, and we just had a great run of issues that were fun. Now, we had some great creators, and we'll go over some of these creators before we show the covers, right? Now, here is the talent that was involved with this book. All right, so you had Roy Thomas, Neil Adams, Jerry Conway, Howard Chaykin, Don McGregor, Gene Colan, Rich Buckler, P. Craig Russell, Bill Mantlo, Herb Trimpe, Keith Giffen, just so many greats. Irv Watanabe. You just had incredible talent working on this book. And it was just an odd, peculiar, its very own type of thing. And it's one of those series where it either hits for you or it doesn't. You either like it or you think it's okay. But, you know, some people hate it. But it is a fun series. The art is fantastic. The world is cool. And we're going to start right out. So we have cover number 1, the first appearance of Killraven. Amazing Adventures, issue 18, War of the Worlds. All right, this is John Romita Sr. art, and of course I forgot to mention him. Tony Mortellaro and Gasper Saladino on the cover. So what a fantastic cover to start out a series, right? To start out a run. We're going to put that right over there because that number 1 should just be on display all the time. Then we had issue 19. All right, and this is an Herb Trimpe cover, John Romita, Mike Esposito, and John Costanza. So just another fantastic cover. And how are you looking at these on the spinner racks or on the shelves back in the day and not picking these up, right? Just amazing, amazing covers. Issue number 20. All right, this is Herb Trimpe and Gasper Saladino cover. And I don't know, you just gotta love an Herb Trimpe cover. You do. All right, next up we have issue 21. All right, and this one is an Herb Trimpe and Gasper Saladino cover as well. It just screams adventure on every cover, man. How could you not want to, as a child, just rip into this book and see what's going on? All right, issue number 22, Herb Trimpe, Gasper Saladino again, and just amazing. Cool creatures, cool concept, and just all sorts of intrigue and war and fighting going on inside. Here's a great action cover. This is Herb Trimpe, John Romita, and Gaspar Saladino. And, you know, John Romita, when he didn't have to put the senior on his name. Just great stuff. All right. Issue number 24. And this is Rich Buckler, Klaus Janson, and Gaspar Saladino. And one of my favorite things from that era are the border covers. I just love the border covers, especially if the art breaks them. But a lot of fun. Great cover. We'll give you a little bit of a close-up on that one. And just amazing. All right, moving on. All right, issue number 25. We have a Gil Kane cover, John Romita, Mike Esposito, and Gaspar Saladino. Just a bunch of great names from comics back then who were just making some of the most imaginative, fun things that we could feast our eyes on and read. So there we go. Great cover. And I can look at these all day. Issue number 26. Okay, we have a John Romita cover and Mori Kuramoto doing the inks. And just another fantastic action-adventure cover. Sword and sorcery, just screaming to a little boy. Open this up, read it. Have the time of your life. Why not? Okay, we're going to move some of these so they don't fall. We'll continue on. Next up, issue number 27. Just a great Jim Starlin cover here. Just look at that. The guy who just does cosmic better than anyone else. All right, we also have Klaus Janson and Gaspar Saladino on this cover with him as well, inking. So just beautiful. The colors pop. Just everything about this cover is incredible. And you would expect nothing less from Jim Starlin. All right, issue number 28. A couple copies of this one. And this is a P. Craig Russell cover. I think this was before he had the P in front of his name. He was just going by Craig Russell. There we go. Great cover, though. Make sure you guys get a good look at it. And then issue number 29, a great aerial action shot here by P. Craig Russell. And, of course, back then you had some great solid backgrounds. The yellows always popping. You had some purples. And just love the solid backgrounds in some of these. All right, and we had a couple of the 29. We'll keep moving on. Issue number 30, and just another great P. Craig Russell cover, who was just doing it all in his covers for the most part. The inking, everything, just great, great work. And look at that. I mean, you got fire, you got the World of Worlds, aliens and their ships. You got our heroes running for cover. Great action shot. P. Craig Russell knows how to put a scene together. Issue number 31, another P. Craig Russell masterpiece. You got Killraven fighting a weird alien, and you got the moon in the background. Just absolutely amazing. How much fun is that? Moving on, issue number 32. P. Craig Russell yet again, who was just one of the main contributors on this title. And again, great creature. Great action shot. Just sets up a story you want to rip into and read. All right, number 33. Again, P. Craig Russell, John Romita. And you just can't say enough about the action, the adventure that this screams. Like everything about this would make me buy it when I was a kid. All right, so issue number 34. Let's show the cleaner copy here. All right, P. Craig Russell. Great villain cover, standing over the heroes. What is going to happen? You're going to have to look inside, read the book, and find out. And but our heroes defeated. Who doesn't like a good heroes defeated cover? Issue number 35, The Threat of the 24-Hour Man. P. Craig Russell, Killraven having it out with another villain. You know, how will this get resolved? Turn the page, buy the book, enjoy. Number 36. Now, this is a great one. Look at the fierceness on her face. P. Craig Russell, of course, on this cover. She is going all out to do our hero in. And looking at this cover, man, I just couldn't wait to read it. To see what was going to happen. Is she really bad? Is she good? Is there a misunderstanding? Are they going to join forces? You got to read to find out, right? And no action genre cover is complete without a spider cover, right? When you're dealing with sword and sorcery and aliens. And at last, a startling origin of the man called Old Skull. So here we go. P. Craig Russell, our hero in the grasp of a giant spider-like creature. And you gotta get the origin of Old Skull in this issue. So lots to look forward to when you were cracking this one open, right? You knew you were getting a battle with a spider. You knew you were getting the origin of a character. That means a lot to the series. So just a must-buy issue. All right. 38, the penultimate issue of the original run, Death's Dark Dreamer, the most unexpected shocker of all time with a Keith Pollard cover. All right, and you got all our heroes converging on Killraven there, and you're like, wow, what are all our 616 heroes doing with Killraven? Well, we have to read that to find out. Fantastic cover. And then 39, the swan song of the series, Amazing Adventures 39, War of the Worlds, Free Earth, They Stand Alone in Earth's Darkest Hour, The Final Glory. All right, P. Craig Russell, Irv Watanabe, and just a great series-ending cover. All right, so this was 1976. All right, and then, of course, we had Marvel Team Up featuring Spider-Man and Killraven. Future Shock, Spidey battles the Martians in the most earth-shaking struggle of all. And this was, I forgot its place in this, but super fun cover. Gil Kane and Danny Crespi. Just a great cover. A lot of fun. Gotta love the Marvel team-ups. They always found a way to get Spidey with some fun guys. And then with the official Marvel index to the Spider-Man Marvel team-up, we had this great cover here by Sandy Pluckett and P. Craig Russell. And just love it. I bought this alone just for this cover. Just great stuff. Now, that was the end of Series 1, except there was a continuation. So this ended in 1976. But in 1983, they came out with a graphic novel finishing Killraven's story from the first series. And this is Marvel graphic novel, number 7. And kind of different art style now for P. Craig Russell, depicting Killraven more human. Get a great back cover there. All right, and this came out in 1983. And you just had some great interiors. But, you know, had to have this. Got to finish the story. You got to see what happens with Killraven. So Marvel graphic novel number 7 from 1983. And then next up, we had a one-shot. Now, this one-shot was out of the Killraven continuity. It didn't adhere to what really came before. It was kind of a retelling and a reestablishing. So this was the Marvel Knights Killraven number 1. And this was a one-shot. Joseph Michael Lisner. Only going by Joe Lisner on this. All right, and we have a signed copy as well. Gorgeous Joseph Michael Lisner art inside. And although it's an alternative Killraven, it's still a fun little read. And then we had a 6-issue series, volume 2, featuring Alan Davis writing and art. So here we go. Killraven 1 of 6. Just some nice, clean, beautiful art. Issue number 2. Love that cover. Just amazing. Of course, you put a woman with a gun and in action, it's automatically a favorite. Great red cover here. Issue number 3 of 6. Issue number 4 of 6. And again, these covers are amazing. Issue number 5 of 6. Every one of these just makes me want to read the book again. And issue 6 of 6, a great underwater cover. Will our hero survive his last issue? Read and find out. All right, but that is the end of this retro cover rewind. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which cover was your favorite? Have you read this series yourself? Is it a series that interests you in any way? And until next time, Thank you so much for watching, and keep it casual.